And now we're going to Egypt.
Here we come.
Because that seems like the right place to go.
The land of the pharaohs is our destination. An emerald scarab brooch is supposed to be hidden in one of the pyramids. We need to find our way through the pyramid and recover the brooch. Press the X button to continue.
So yeah, there's sand in Egypt and pyramids. That is an environment, apparently. We need to get the brooch. There's a crocodile guarding it, another animal, and there's camels, and there's quicksand, and dust devils, whatever those might be.
Egypt is so
And we can go to the desert. Who'd have thought that was gonna happen? I didn't. I didn't expect to find a desert in Egypt of all places. So I can see why they would, like, announce that. So yeah, now we're in the desert. You may notice everything looks different. Gems are green here instead of blue, which is helpful because green over yellow is actually really hard to see, but we're really good explorers and therefore we won't have any trouble with that. I'm actually just gonna keep running this time around. I don't think I'm gonna try. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna even try to get all the gems because quite frankly, we're not gonna get all of them. So instead, how about we just run to the end? I think we just got an extra life by picking up that treasure chest over there. And yeah, the game's already hard enough without trying to grab all the gems. And we're already playing on hard as well. So we're basically playing on double hard. There's a lot of sand in here, as you may not have noticed. Barbie, sometimes a bit condescending. There was a tornado there, but I choose to ignore it. There's also camels going to the right. In the African jungle, some things are the same in that some platforms you just go straight through them. But it had elephants going to the left, whereas this place has camels going to the right. And more floating keys. This one was actually quite hard to see on account that it was right in the sky, but you know, it helped us. We're now in a little town. Naturally, the town is entirely empty because this is a place where you find treasure. And clearly this isn't a ghost town, otherwise maybe the inhabitants of this place would be something along the lines of, hey, please don't go into the Great Pyramid to steal our treasure. Which is a fair thing to say to someone who is in Egypt. Please don't steal our things. But Barbie's like, I'm an explorer. This is what explorers do. They steal things. Barbie's maybe not the best example for anyone in the world, really. But yeah, we let her do whatever it is she wants to do. This looks like an oasis, but Barbie doesn't need hydration in her life. Hydration is actually thought up by marketing departments. Before Barbie, we never needed to drink water. And here we are. Barbie came into the world and suddenly, whoops, everyone's 100% of people have water in their system now. Look at that. Look at that marketing right there. And even though there's a tap, like you would expect this to maybe be somewhat near the oasis, but instead it's next to this random hole of death that you have lying around your town. Which is a pretty good place to have your random hole of death. I mean, if I were to put a random hole of death somewhere, it would definitely be the middle of the road in a random town. That seems like a pretty normal place. So we just got tiptoes. Which probably means that I can run over this without being dead. Like, it may just look like a brown smidge, but in fact, it is deadly. It is deadly. Also, the icon for this appears to be a ballerina. As ballerinas are often known to run around Egypt through quicksand and sink. It's a real problem, but ballet was actually invented to stop people from sinking in quicksand. Yeah, and it's just another life lesson from Barbie. We just got running shoes, which mean that we can run fast for 20 seconds. Another thing that Barbie invented was shoes that make you run fast. The moment you jump, you immediately lose all of your momentum, which makes sense because you're no longer running. It's running shoes. Come on.
Congratulations, you can
Look how fast that was. We ran to the end in seconds because of those running shoes. And that's how Nikes were invented. I can clearly, like, I can safely say that this game invented so many things that are still currently being used in life. Like shoes that stop working after 20 seconds. That's definitely the one. I would also often put them in a cube and not even visibly put them on. I would just have them and I would run faster.
Stay away from the duck devil.
And Barbie's still a little bit confused about what to call things. Some people would call that a small tornado, but Barbie decides to call it a dust devil, which might be the accurate term for a tiny tornado that is ravaging the lands. But I'm just going to call it a tiny tornado that is ravaging the lands, on account that's what it is. And seeing as Barbie has misnamed several things in all of her other games, and I'm still receiving comments about how Barbie has misnamed several things in all the other games, especially Colts, I'm gonna just assume that every word she uses is used incorrectly. Just every single one. Sometimes she'll say, that might be an oasis, but I think it actually means this is Canada. And this isn't Canada at all. So that's double wrong. Barbie was just double wrong. This is really hard. This is like surprisingly difficult for a game which is most likely aimed towards the children's. And it actually has some pretty like tight movement requirements, and that surprises me a little bit. But simultaneously it then has keys just in the middle of the road, so I don't... Who is your audience? Who are you making this game for? Is it made for me? I'm pretty sure it isn't. I'm pretty sure this game was not made with me in mind. This game is like 10 years old. I wasn't even born back then. It's a good thing we picked up that key. Otherwise that camera transition couldn't have worked. And now we're walking towards the camera, which is great. I mean, Crash Bandicoot did it, so I guess Barbie should do it as well. I'm actually feeling like we're currently Barbie Bandicoot. That is our character's name. That is the character's last name. That is Barbie's last name. It actually makes sense now that her name is Bandicoot, because that is what I often call Barbie as well. How am I even supposed to get past this? Can I run past it right? I mean, I get stuck on literally every wall I touch as well, which is worth mentioning, because the controls in this are not aimed towards the player. They are aimed towards the monsters in this life, which is dust devils and camels, primarily. It's primarily animals and things, but also this blue button, which seemingly did nothing for a while, but now it seems to very slowly move this platform. It's kind of hard to see if it's here or not, but it stopped moving just now, so I'm gonna... Well, we're doing it. This is how it actually goes in Egypt as well. Egypt was the inventor of random floating platforms which require buttons to use, and that's why Egyptian people are known for their teamwork, because oftentimes they'll just have one person pressing the button and another person getting on the platform. Barbie, however, is incredibly quick and nimble, and is capable of doing it on her ownsies. And I think everyone is fairly impressed by that. I think that's something that people actually use Barbie as a role model, specifically for her button pressing and then running to a random floating platformness. Which is why when this game came out, they actually had little action figurines which were like Barbie and the Egyptian button presser outfit. Jump on platforms and then jump on the floating platform that you may or may not be holding with your hand. That was a camera angle. Do I have to pull these things or push them perhaps? Okay, so if I try to pull it, she just sits down briefly and it's like, alright, no. And if I try to push it, she does the same. Alright, there we go. So, just like with a cat, you just take its paws and just push them in. Cats are actually highly appreciative of that when you do that. Cats love it when you touch their paws, and this game tells you that. Punch the button, because otherwise it won't work. And here we go, one of our famous Egyptian jumping puzzles with various torches which are on forever. They are known as eternal torches because they stay on forever and don't require humans. People have never actually seen this place before. Barbie is the first person to find this place in the world. If you were to go to Egypt and ask, hey, where's your jumping puzzle area that requires me to push a blue switch after pushing in two giant rocks, which, quite frankly, I don't think Barbie has the physical strength to actually push down. The tour guide might say, oh, you've been playing that Barbie game again, haven't you? And you'll say, yeah, that's correct. Oh, that was cool. So I'm guessing that redness means that you can run over it normally, but we have the ability of jumping and did it anyway because video games. Again, if a floor is red, it's sticky, which is another life lesson that you can learn from playing this game. Originally, I thought that the color has actually nothing to do with the stickiness of a floor, but no, it's entirely just red floors specifically. This is impossible, but I did it. This is probably actually the hardest game I've ever played. And that includes other Barbie games, which, I mean, that's saying something. Those are big words right there. But yeah, like you can see, like red switches means they're sticky, and normal colors means they're not. I think these are levers. There we go. They sort of just look like urns, but they seem to act as levers sometimes as well. Whoa, that's a really fast platform. But we did it. We managed to guide Barbie to where she needs to go. In reality, Barbie doesn't need our help, because Barbie is a strong, independent madam who doesn't need assistance from anyone else, which is why she is in Egypt gathering treasures for random old man in museum. And as you can see, that jump was impossible without pushing this block forward. I definitely couldn't have grabbed onto that ledge otherwise. There was no way. So you can see why we had to do it, and I think you can especially see why we had to do it twice, because if you only have one of these blocks, then you can, like, that's not going to work. But if you have two of them, then by the second one, they're just going to be like, I'm too tired to push this second block. I will now go home. And that's how the Egyptians originally stopped people from going into the Sphinx / pyramids. Because, yeah, that's, it's known. Like, the Egyptians were known for their traps, which mostly blocked the lazy and not so much the determined. But Barbie is a determined person who is willing to overstep the Egyptians' boundaries and steal the gold. But I believe we are now going inside the Great Pyramid. This is where we will be fighting Ugzan, but he might be hiding, so instead we might be just doing a whole bunch more jumping puzzles instead. There's a giant heart over here, but it's hidden. It's hidden by matter of flying in the air slightly. And this jump is impossible, but Barbie makes the impossible possible. Barbie is a pioneer when it comes to possibilities in the world. I'm not going to jump back there. Like you would think, these two holes, important, but no, we're just going inside this spaceship door over here maybe. Or maybe we're going nowhere. Maybe we're just going to get this gem over here instead. There's a lot of possibilities, but all of them just seem to lead to me running into a wall. And yeah, yeah, maybe I can climb this. Nope. Can I roll into it? Nope. All right. So yeah, we're stuck forever. Maybe there's a switch over here that I just missed. There are two giant blocks over here, so that may have some. Yeah, that would do it. Unfortunately, this jump is still impossible. I've nearly lost all of my lives on this first jump, which is pretty great. I'm once again going to blame depth perception, but in the end of the day, it's all my own fault. I mean, it is a Barbie game. It's meant to be played by small children. Maybe that's the problem. I am not a small children anymore. I am now a big children, and I'm just not capable of doing this way. You see? All right. I don't. Okay. Oh, yep. That Egyptians also first pioneers of fake floors and jumps, which I'm pretty sure. Okay. Yep. It's a good thing that it like has that little block over there which you can jump on top of that way, because we needed that right there. This is a good camera angle because we can't actually see anything, but maybe we can just jump to the other side. Okay, yeah, apparently we can. Sure. I mean, it looks like one of those places which would make us fall down, but it isn't on account that it isn't. So that's nice. It is often like Barbie was the first one who invented video game mechanics which randomly change. So, you know, pioneer in that field as well. She is a pioneer in every field that could possibly have something pioneer in it. I can't actually tell if these are going to fall down if I walk on them or not, but we'll find out soon enough. We don't really have the lives to experiment with this stuff, but, you know, we did it. We did it. We survived, and we lived. And we have more running shoes, which, yep, that is ruining our controls even more. This is basically impossible at this point. There is clearly a, like, little gap to the right over here where I think I can go into, but that seems too dangerous for my taste. I'm not going to risk it. On account that there is a giant rolling thing trying to stop us from doing so, and I am scared. And you know what they say, once you get scared, give up immediately. So saith Barbie. Not me, that was Barbie that said that. Don't quote me on that. It was definitely Barbie that said that. Immediately leave and go home, because you are probably in the wrong place. But Barbie never gets scared. Barbie invented fear, but then only gave it to others, so that she may seem the most confident in her abilities. Yep. So, in the end, if you are ever scared, just think about what Barbie would do, which is remove fear from her entire personality and just greet danger with a smile. And truly then will we be ready to take on the universe. Now, it may have seemed like pushing that block onto that switch did fairly little, and it would seem so, but you just don't know how blocks work. But once Barbie shows you that this will work in a second, you can believe as well. Yep, this is helping. Yep, that was a pretty specifically requiring area right there, but you know, that's how you get people to call the Barbie helpline to help them with their video games. So, all in all, good job, Barbie support line, for helping me through those terrible, tough situations. What is this right here? It is invulnerable. We already had a shield previously, and invulnerable does not mean that we will survive falling down, and naturally it immediately makes us walk very slowly. But yeah, invulnerable. Cool, I guess. Okay, so that's... okay. And, oh, wait, I don't think we're actually losing lives when we are falling down. So, you know, it's different from shield. It is different from shield. And, yep, Egyptian technology once again showing off their magical disappearing blocks. Really fun, especially since you will just fall off if you even walk off of them, which is the first block that was actually capable of doing that. Other blocks would not have you fall down when you walked. But Egypt found a way to make blocks even more dangerous. So good job, Egypt, on making your pyramid treasures safe. Yep, just make the blocks disappear. Good. That's what okay, yep, that's what I was hoping for. I was hoping that we would just fall down repeatedly to really show off that Egyptian technology that you made. Good stuff. All right, but I think we got this. Whoop. All we need to do is hope that the platform doesn't disappear when we accidentally touch too much of the edge or whatever. Okay, we accidentally survived. You can't stop us that easily, Egypt. But they do have, like, sarcophagi opening and closing repeatedly to fend off travelers. Yep, that's how they did it back in Egypt when they were guarding treasures. They used doors to stop the enemies because they knew that Barbie wasn't actually invulnerable to doors, as they also did the VR training back in the day. Egypt was way ahead of everyone. They knew that the VR thing was going to be there because they had access to a time machine, or a time lock as they called it back in those days. And yeah, Egypt made things to specifically stop Barbie, but then forgot to actually check if any of it worked, which was where they went wrong a bit, I would say. This is also a bit of an issue on account the door never seems to open again. Yeah, so small problem. I don't actually know where the switch is, unless it's that thing, which it might be. It is not. So, cool. Somewhere over here is a switch that is going to open that door. And that switch is 7. There's now... okay, a timer is going down. What does it mean? It went back to 7 while standing on top of that thing. So maybe we can renew the timer by jumping on top of this right here. Yep, that did make it go back to 3. What a strange... Egypt, you're confusing me. But I guess that's kind of the point of these traps, right? They are meant to confuse the barbs. And confused they did, slightly. But it worked in the end, so... This also seems like a rather awkward way to guard your treasures, because I feel like it's very safe, I imagine. I don't think many, like, thieves, unless you're Barbie, would actually bother with this, but it seems a bit awkward if you ever needed it again yourself. I feel like they didn't really consider that, but I guess simultaneously this is a tomb. We are currently raiding a tomb, so there is also that to consider in the end, I suppose. So we just got destroyed by a door, as it happens. Like I said before, Egypt knew that doors were Barbie's one true weakness, and they used the technology effectively. I'm kind of surprised it didn't fall down here on account of that I did just run on these things, but sure. Sometimes things just don't work out. Barbie's face is terrifying, so I'm actually just not going to show it off ever again. That was a little bit too much of a close-up, and it scares me a bit. I think it might be the hat. I think the hat is really, like, making it a little bit scarier than it needs to be, because like everything else looks pretty ordinary, but the hat, that's not the kind of hat an explorer would wear, I feel. I mean, maybe Indiana Jones, but even he would like question that hat. I'm glad that we hit that door like that. I'm glad that our hitbox changes slightly when we start going into rolling mode, because otherwise it would just be too easy, right? Nah. Alright, so what do we got? So you want me to hit that thing? And then the pot, which is over here. And then the cross, I think. Which is also somewhere. It's over there. I pretty much pressed every single switch in the world there. And that wasn't good enough. So, alright, let's do it again. Feathers. Swirly thingy. And then the cross again, which is really in an awkward spot. What do you want from me, game? I pressed the switches. I pressed the switches. Why was that not good enough for you? Look, I'm standing on it. Oh, wait, do I need to, like, match these things or something? No. That would just be weird. What do you... that one. Or do I just have to do it several times, maybe? That now I have to hit this sideways E, and now I have to hit the weird thing with the X on it again, and now I have to hit the Aquarius symbol one more time. But now it's not doing anything. Like, what? What is... What? Oh, it's already open. Never mind, I did it. I'm just not a very smart person. That's what went wrong. But we worked it out, and now we can move on to 2 levers and some Egyptian things. That is, Horus right there, who is, mummifying someone with the help. That is actually quite grim. Let's just pull these things and just move on. Let's just not think about it. That was also definitely not Horus, but you know, Egyptian lore right there. Not Horus. You're welcome. I taught you something just now. Let's go into this magical teleporter and have it not do a thing. Thanks, game. Thanks for putting a magical teleporter in the middle of your room that was not actually effective. What do you want from me, game? Your angles confuse me. We just make lights appear. Alright, we're lighting up the life. We're lighting up this place. So that's good. A lot of lamps, which is required to access the sacred tombs. Yeah. So yeah, this is going well. This is going great. 4 switches. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm lost. I can't really tell if any of these switches do more than one thing. And did I do it?
Good job.
Yep.
That's another level complete.
That's another level complete. That we sure solved that puzzle on account that we did. And that was good enough. I am lost, but we did it, and that's all that matters. We don't need to worry about any other detail about that. We did it. Don't worry about it, guys. We did it. We did it. We did it. Let's go to Croc River. I think that's the logical next location. I can see how we went from a pyramid and then teleported to Crocodile River, which is another elaborate jumping puzzle filled with rafts while a crocodile is going to try and eat us. Because
I think we just woke the crocodile.
how does she say that so like, whoops, I guess we just woke up that creature that's gonna try and eat us. If only we could jump forward. Hee hee. Like, the jump just doesn't work half the time. It's just so nice. This game's controls are incredible. In that, sometimes they might take you to the right direction. And I feel like anyone that's ever actually played this game can completely vouch on that as well. Like, this is just an experience. But once we got it down, we just walk forward and jump a lot. And sometimes we jump forward when we do that. We like barely don't fall off the next platform every single time. So, you know, good placement. And that time we did, because now we have to jump diagonally, which is actually impossible. This is actually just not a thing in this game. Also, we just ran because we randomly stopped walking. So now we get to spend another 5 minutes loading the save file, because this game is incredible. And we get to try that again. Oh, hey, look at where we are. Does this place not look familiar to you? It may. That's because we were literally just here. And that would do it, wouldn't it? That would be a reason as to why the remembering is still there.
I think we just woke the crocodile.
I think we just woke up our enemy. Let's do some more jumping. Which is basically just walking to an edge and then holding forward and hope you jump forward. And hope that there's no diagonal jumps ever. Which there are, of course. Of course there's diagonal jumps. It would be oh, okay, so this is just a... There was just no platform there. So that's cool. Thanks for not having a platform randomly. That's one way you could do it, I suppose. Oh, I actually managed to like slightly adjust our jump in midair, so look at that. This is why they call us Barbie Explorers, because we managed to change the rules of physics slightly. So yeah, that was not so bad. It was pretty easy, actually. So what's that crocodile gonna do now? Oh, he leaves. I mean, I can see why he would follow us up to this point. I mean, if I was a crocodile and I saw Barbie go to the left, I would also be like, I can't physically go to the left. I can only spin right. It's a real problem I have. It has happened to other people, that other people have been unable to turn left in the world. It's not a joke. It is a real thing. And us crocodiles have it too sometimes. And I can see that. This is... Tibet.
We're heading out to Tibet.
We're heading out to Tibet.